Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So this is the online Wednesday ISV class. So my name is Asraya Madhava Dasa, and I will be presenting, speaking, and I will be also the host for today. Today's topic we are going to discuss because today's date we are celebrating Ciḍā-dadhi festival. So that's going to be the today's topic. I'll start with quick reading of the translations for the Chad chapter, which is Bhagavad Gita 9, the most confidential knowledge, and then we'll go to the Ciḍā-dadhi festival. So before we do that, I will go ahead and read the Mangalacharan prayers, which are the prayers to Lord Krishna, Radharani, and to the previous acharyas to get their blessings so that this class goes successful. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्ता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Now we'll be reading the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. So, in this chapter, actually, the main focus of this chapter is the knowledge that helps us develop faith into the unalloyed devotion to Lord Sri Krishna. That's the focus of this chapter. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjun, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed." So the first two verses, Lord Krishna is talking about the knowledge itself, the qualities of the knowledge. He really doesn't at this point talks about what that knowledge is. Verse 3, "Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me, O conqueror of enemies. Therefore they return to the path of birth and death in this material world." In verse 3, Lord Krishna stresses that just devotional service as a side activity will not work. One needs to have faith in this, that this will ultimately help a person reach the joy of the devotional service, which is mentioned, Lord Krishna mentions in verse 2. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Now, from this verse, Lord Krishna starts talking about that knowledge. And he says, and this is very relevant because now this helps us, this from the verse 4 to down the last verse, Lord Krishna is actually helping us develop that faith, that why we should have faith in the devotional service to Lord Krishna. So that starts from verse 4. Verse 5, and yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation. For myself is the very source of creation. So here Lord Krishna is talking about his mystic opulence, his yogic power. His yogic power is so infinite that he is present everywhere, yet he is not present in person everywhere. So that's what he's talking about. And then he gives an analogy how that is. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me. So here if you try to draw parallels, wind, mighty wind is similar to what Lord Krishna is talking about, the creation itself, the cosmic manifestation. And sky is, if you take an analogy, then sky is Lord Krishna, where everything is happening, but the sky does not change. The wind is going here and there. So similarly, the beings, they move here and there. They go through many transformations through life after life, but the Krishna does not change. He is eternal, and it all happens within the energy of Krishna, Lord Krishna. 7. O son of Kunti, at the end of millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will, it is annihilated at the end. So in verse 7 and 8, he further stresses that it is not only that he maintains, but he is also responsible for creation and destruction. O Dhananjay, all this work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. Here Lord Krishna states that he does all this not for himself, he is detached. This material in nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving being. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Here Lord Krishna is stressing that although this is happening as per his will, which is stressed in 8 and 9, this is not directly being done by him, it is actually done by one of his energy, which is the material nature, the Prakriti. 11. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme Lord of all that be. Now this is what the verse number 11 is very important, because we should be extremely careful of the commentaries of Bhagavad Gita or any other scriptures, which even through their hint or indirectly mention that Lord Krishna was just a powerful personality that came 5,000 years back. So all those commentaries as well as the people who follow that philosophy, they are actually, Lord Krishna is calling them fools. Why? Because they will miss the ultimate goal of reaching that ultimate happiness. That is why Lord Krishna is calling them fools. So we should be very careful to stay away from that kind of philosophy which says that, Lord Krishna is just a powerful personality. So we should be very careful. And here Lord Krishna stresses what happens to those fools. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demoniac and atheistic views. In the deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So they don't get benefit from any of the things they do. Now one may counter argue to many of those people we see successful in material life. But we have to material life, we have to look at from the perspective that when we take birth, we just have our body, we don't have anything. And when we leave this world, we can't even carry that body with us. So what is the use of all those achievements? Here Lord Krishna is talking about that the benefit, the fruitive activities benefit is what? Transcendental knowledge. Culture of knowledge is to understand that I am actually soul and my duty, my dharma is different than the dharma of my body. And therefore they never get liberation. That is what Lord Krishna is stating here. 30. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Here Lord Krishna stresses that those who have this knowledge, he is talking about the joyful aspect of it. If someone is not getting any joy out of any activity, that person will not be able to do that activity to eternity. So these people who are under the shelter of Lord Krishna's divine nature, they are fully engaged in devotional service. Why? Because they get joy. They get that direct perception what Lord Krishna was talking about in one of the previous verses. What else they do? Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many, and in the universal form. So there are those who believe that the ultimate reality, ultimate truth, absolute truth is a person. But then there are those who believe that this gigantic manifestation is the same truth. So they worship, their path is that of knowledge. But for them also Lord Krishna is saying in verse 16, but it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant, I am the butter and the fire and the offering. I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sama and the Yajurvedas. So any path you take, Krishna is there everywhere. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal seed. O Arjun, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Now here Lord Krishna is talking about till now, till verse 19 is about those who want to follow in the path of knowledge, to ultimately come to the conclusion that Lord Krishna is present everywhere. Same conclusion. Right? Jagat avyakta murtina. Right? So till 19. 20. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice seeking the heavenly planets worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. Where they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. So these are the people who worship stop at the demigod and they think that's demigod is the supreme and that's my destination. So what happens? They go there and then they come back. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So here in verse 21 they say, it is mentioned that they lose whatever they got when they go to heavenly kingdom. But here Lord Krishna is stressing those who worship Lord Krishna, they never lose anything. Whatever faith, whatever transcendental opulence they get, such devotees, they always retain that. They never lose it. 23. Those who are devotees of other gods and worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. So we see that in the scriptures, in Bhagavatam and other scriptures, that there were many devotees who worship other gods. But they always know that the ultimate beneficiary is Lord Krishna, and any benefit that I am getting out of those sacrifices or those worships to other demigods is actually ultimately coming from Krishna. And so that is what Lord Krishna is mentioning here. When Lord Krishna mentions do so in a wrong way, they think that those demigods are independent of Lord Krishna. That's the wrong aspect. Verse 24 is saying, I am the only enjoyer and the master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Right? So, which he already, transcendental nature fall down is what he already mentioned, the cycle of birth and death. Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. So it's not that you worship anything and you will reach Krishna. No. But yes, if you worship them, if you go to them with the intention that they will show us the way to Lord Krishna, then you will reach Krishna like Prachetas, right? They reached Krishna. But who guided them? Lord Shiva. They went to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva guided them with a process by which they could reach Lord Krishna. Now here Lord Krishna then states in 26, it is very simple to worship him. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. The most important thing here Lord Krishna is taking from us is the love and devotion. Verse 27, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. So that should be the intention of all our activities, that the results go to Lord Krishna. In this way you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. We must pay attention that when we worship Lord Krishna, we also get freed from not only inauspicious but auspicious results also. If Lord Krishna sees that this result will make this devotee may be proud, then he may not give that. So, and that should be our goal. Our goal should not be to get material benefits, to worship Lord Krishna. So then we can keep our faith steady. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly, because he is properly situated in his determination. Srila Prabhupada has cautioned in this purport that this does not mean that we should follow the devotional path, but then we keep committing abominable activities. That's not what Lord Krishna is saying here. He says that in case accidentally if it happens, then still he is considered saintly. 31. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace, O son of Kunti. Declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Very strong word from Lord Krishna. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Sudras workers, can attain the supreme destination. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service to me. Verse 32, just a note. In Kali Yuga, 99% people are Sudras. So we most of us follow in this category. At least myself, I can tell. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee. Offer obeisances to me. Worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Lord Krishna is not telling Arjuna, leave your duty and do this. Because if he were that were his purpose, then in the 8th chapter you should not have said Yuddha cha anusmarascha, right? While performing your fighting, keep remembering me. You would not have said that. You do all these things, but at the same time you do your duty. How you do your duty? That is what he is stressing in. So verse 34 has to be taken with verse 27. Verse 27, so most of the devotees fall a combination of 27 and 34. Both. Anyway, we will now close this reading of chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. So in summary, Lord Krishna is saying that most important thing is we have to understand that all creation, maintenance, destruction, even if you worship a demigod, the results you are getting, everything ultimately in this world is happening. The source is Lord Krishna. And we should have strong faith and conviction in that. Now, having said that, we should then worship Him with love and devotion, and everything we do, we should offer it to Him. And He is very specific in terms of the kind of activities you can do to show the devotion. He is very concrete, and that is what is the last verse. So mind always in thinking of me, like when you are chanting, thinking about His name, His pastimes. They offer obeisances to me, worship me. We do Vigraha Puja. When we go to temple, we offer Him our obeisances, Sastanga Pranam, all that. So that is what He means, and He accepts those. Okay, so let me quickly see if there are any questions online. Sorry for the silence. Just checking if there are any comments, YouTube or Facebook online. Okay, we are good. So Now we will read from the Antyalila, chapter 6. So, chapter 6 is the meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raghunath Das Goswami. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came 500 years back to, I am just talking about his external reason for coming, which is to spread Krishna consciousness. How? By doing Sankirtan, by chanting holy name. And that is the sure and easy way to reach Krishna consciousness, which we read in chapter 9 just now in Bhagavad Gita, is the ultimate goal of life, and how to do it joyfully. His pastimes are quite sweet, and this is one of those sweet pastimes that happened with one of his devotees, Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami, just to give you some background, he was actually born in a very wealthy family, and when he first met Mahaprabhu asked him to remain where he is, and there Raghunath Das Goswami was leading his life just like an ordinary businessman, because he was born to a businessman class. But then he was so attached to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement that after 1 year he thought that he should do something about it. Now there are other things that happened, I will skip those because we don't have time. And then he thought that let me go and meet Nityananda Goswami. And that is where this Ciḍā-dadhi festival or Mahotsava starts. So I am going to read it. The reading itself is very nice. So I will just go ahead and read from these verses. And that starts from verse 43. This is, by the way, chapter 6 of the Antyalila of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I will read Bengali and English simultaneously. তবে রঘুনাথ কিছু বিচারিল মনে, নিত্যানন্দ গোসাইর পাশ চলিলা আরো দিনে. Then Raghunath Das considered something in his mind, and the next day he went to Nityananda Gosai. পানিহাটি গ্রামে পাইল প্রভুরা দর্শন, কীর্তনীয় সেবক সঙ্গে আরো বহুজন. In the village of Panihati, Raghunath Das obtained an interview with Nityananda Prabhu, who was accompanied by many kirtan performers, servants and others. গঙ্গা তীরে বৃক্ষমূলে পিণ্ডর উপরে, বৈশ্যচেন যেন কোটি সূর্যোদয় করে. Sitting on a rock under a tree on the bank of the Ganges, Lord Nityananda seemed as effulgent as hundreds of thousands of rising suns. So that was his effulgence. Because we know Nityananda Mahaprabhu was actually a combination of Sadasiv and Mahavishnu, right? So he had that opulence, just like Lord Krishna. তলে উপরে বহু ভক্ত হনাচে বেষ্টিত, দেখি প্রভুরা প্রভাব রঘুনাথ বিস্মিত. Many devotees sat on the ground surrounding him. Seeing the influence of Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Das was astonished. দণ্ডবত হনসে পড়িল কত দূরে, সেবক কহে রঘুনাথ দণ্ডবত করে. Raghunath Das offered his obeisances by falling prostrate at a distant place, and the servant of Nityananda, that is what the Sebaka Kahe, Nityananda Prabhu pointed out, there is Raghunath Das offering you obeisances. Suni Prabhu Kahe chora dili darshana, আয় আয় আজি তোর করিমু দণ্ডন. Hearing this, Lord Nityananda Prabhu said, you are a thief. Now you have come to see me. Come here. Today I shall punish you. প্রভু বলায় তেন নিকটে না করে গমন, আকর্ষীয় তাঁর মতে মাথায় প্রভু ধরিলা চরণ আকর্ষীয় তারো মাথায় প্রভু ধরিলা চরণ মাথায় means head. The Lord called him, but Raghunath Das did not go near the Lord. Then the Lord forcibly caught him and placed his lotus feet upon Raghunath Das's head. That's Nityananda Prabhu giving his mercy to Raghunath Das. কৌতুকী নিত্যানন্দ সহজে দয়াময় রঘুনাথে কহে কিছু হয় সদায়. Lord Nityananda was by nature very merciful and funny. Yeah, so this is another aspect of Nityananda. Nityananda Prabhu was also a very humorous person, basically. Many of his activities were like that, like Lord Shiva. Being merciful, he spoke to Raghunath Das as follows. নিকটে নয়শ চর ভগ দূরে দূরে আজি লাগো পানাচি দণ্ডিমূত মারে. You are just like a thief, for instead of coming near, you stay away at a distant place. So now here we understand the reason why he is calling him thief. Not that he has stolen something, but he is behaving like a thief, like he is far away, He is not coming close to Nityananda Prabhu. Now that I have captured you, I shall punish you. Now what is the punishment? The punishment is also very sweet punishment. দধির চিড়া ভক্ষণ করাহ মর গণে শুনি আনন্দিত হইল রঘুনাথ মনে. Make a festival and feed all my associates yogurt and chipped rice. So chipped rice is what we in India call chura. Right? Hearing this, Raghunath Das was greatly pleased. Imagine you get a punishment and you are pleased with the punishment. That is the dealings between the Lord and his devotees. When the Lord punishes, then also devotee feels very happy. What a nice punishment. I get to serve the Vaishnavas, right? So that's he is very greatly pleased, Raghunath Das. সেই ক্ষণে নিজ লোক পাঠাইল গ্রামে ভক্ষ দ্রব্য লোক সব গ্রাম হইতো আনে. Raghunath Das immediately sent his own men to the village to purchase all kinds of eatables and bring them back. They pretty much scanned the whole village, everything, bring everything, all so much of chipped rice, yogurt, everything, and all the items he brought will be mentioned in the next verse. চিড়া দহি দুগ্ধ সন্দেশ আরো চিনি কলা সব দ্রব্য আনানো চৌদিকে ধারিলা. Raghunath Das brought chipped rice, yogurt, milks, sweetmeats, sugar, bananas and other eatables and placed them all around. Lot of items got throughout the village. মহোৎসব নাম শুনি ব্রাহ্মণ সজ্জন আসিতে লাগিল লোক অসংখ্য গণন. So imagine the challenge to Raghunath Das Goswami. It's not that he made an estimate, okay, so many people, so this much I have to get. He got that and then people heard about it and more people poured in, like all this Brahman and the gentleman class, they poured in. As soon as they heard that a festival is going to be held, all kinds of Brahmanas and other gentlemen began to arrive. Thus, there were innumerable people. আরো গ্রাম নতর হইতে সামগ্রী আনিল শত দুই চারি হলো তাহ আনাইল. So seeing the crowd increasing, Raghunath Das arranged to get more eatables from other villages. So he completed the previous time he got everything from this village, Panihati, and then now he is getting from other villages because more people are coming. He also brought 200 to 400 large round earthen pots. He wanted to make it grand. So he got, and we'll understand why he got all those earthen pots as we read along. বড় বড় মৃত কুণ্ডিক আনাইল পঞ্চ শতে এক বিপ্র প্রভু লাগি চিড়া ভিজায়া তটে. He also obtained 5 or 7 specially large earthen pots, and in these pots a Brahmana began soaking chipped rice for satisfaction of Lord Nityananda. So there were many small pots, like hundreds of small pots, round earthen pots, and there were large pots because as we do in ISV kitchen also, right? The large pots is we use for cooking and making. and then the small plates we give for serving, is for serving, like that. And the key thing is, it is not just a party. Everything they are doing to satisfy the Lord. Here the Lord is Lord Nityananda. Everything, that is the focus. Everything I am doing is ultimately to satisfy the Lord Nityananda. If I serve other Brahmanas and other devotees there who came to visit Lord Nityananda, then we know Lord Nityananda will be pleased. That is the ultimate goal. একথানি তপ্ত দুগ্ধে চিড়া ভিজানো অর্ধেক ছানিল দধি চিনি কলা দিয়া. In one place, chipped rice was soaked in hot milk in each of the large pots. Then half the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. Right? So half were mixed with just like soaked in milk, other were with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. আরও অর্ধেক ঘনাবৃত দুগ্ধেতে ছানিল চাঁপা কলা চিনি ঘৃত কর্পূর তটে দিল. The other half was mixed with condensed milk and a special type of banana known as champa kola. Right? So that hot milk, which is saying that condensed milk and banana champa. Champa kolas are basically, you might have, I don't know, here in Indian store also you might see that, like the very small bananas they have. And very sweet. Then sugar, clarified butter, and camphor were also added. ধুতি পারি প্রভু যদি পিণ্ডাতে বসিল শতকুণ্ডী বিপ্র তার আগেতে ধরিল. After Nityananda Prabhu had changed his cloth for a new one means cloth is here dhuti. Dhuti is dhoti. He changed his dhoti and sat on a raised platform. The Brahmana brought him the 7 huge pots where they actually prepared the Ciḍā-dadhi. চবুতরা উপরে যত প্রভুরা নিজ গণে বড় বড় লোক বসিল মণ্ডলী রচনে. So on that platform, all the most important associates of Sri Nityananda Prabhu as well as other important men sat down in a circle around the Lord. রাম দাস সুন্দরানন্দ দাস গদাধর মুরারি কমলাকর সদাশিব পুরন্দর. Among them were Ramdas, Sundaranand, Gadadhar Das, Murari, Kamalakara, Sadasiv, and Purandara. Dhananjaya Jagadisha Parameshwara Dasa Mahesha Gauri Dasa Hara Krishna Dasa. Dhananjaya Jagadish, Parameshwar Das, Mahesha Gauri Das, and Hara Krishna Das were also there. So these were all sitting with Nityananda Prabhu on the raised platform. উদাহরণ দত্ত আদি যত নিজ গণ উপরে বসিল সব কে করে গণন. How to count so many people, right? That is what কে কর গণন. Similarly, Udharan Datta Thakur and many other personal associates of the Lord sat on the raised platform with Nityananda. No one could count them all. There are so many. So many of these devotees mentioned here, right? They have been in the Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his Anubhashya, they have mentioned. Okay, and we can also consult these other places in the Adi Lila to understand who are these devotees. And some clarification, like Murari is not actually Murari Gupta. He is a Murari Chaitanya Das, is another personal associate of Nityananda Prabhu. It's a good idea to read these various places in the Adi Lila to understand who these people are. Suni Pandita Bhattacharya Jatra Vipro Ailo Monno Kori Prabhu Shabare Upore Bosailo. So not only these people, but then there were also other learned scholars and Brahmanas they came, and the priests they came. Lord Nityananda honored them and made them sit on the raised platform with him. দুই দুই মৃত কুণ্ডিক সবারে আগে দিল একে দুগ্ধ চিড়া আর দধি চিড়া কইল. Everyone was offered. Now you understand why those hundreds of earthen pots. Everyone there was offered 2 earthen pots. In one earthen pot was put chipped rice with the condensed milk, dudh chide, you can call in Bengali, and in the other chipped rice with yogurt, doi chide, chide doi. Okay. So those are the two earthen pots. Everyone was offered, everyone got it. আরো জড় লোক সভা চৌতর তলনে মণ্ডলী বাঁধে বসিল তারও না হয় গণনে. All other people sat in groups around the platform. So this is the platform, raised platform. Here all these important people are sitting with Nityananda Prabhu, and then down in the platform surrounding there were many other people, and no one could count how many people there were. একেকা জনারে দুই দুই হন্য দিলা দধি চিড়া দুগ্ধ চিড়া দুইতে ভিজাইলা. Each and every one of them was supplied two earthen pots, one of chipped rice soaked in yogurt and the other of chipped rice soaked in condensed milk. কোনো কোনো বিপ্র উপরে স্থানও না পায় না দুই হল নায়ে চিড় ভিজায় গঙ্গা তীরে গিয়া. This is the another aspect. Some of the Brahmanas, not having gotten a place on the platform, went to the bank of the Ganges with their two earthen pots and soaked their chipped rice there. Right, and they could not get in because there were so many people who kept pouring in, so there was no place in that platform. So then they had to go near the bank of the Ganges. Further, something happened. তীরে স্থান না পানো আরো কত জন জলে নামে দধি চিড়া কড়ায়ে ভক্ষণ. Others who could not get a place even on the bank of the Ganges got down into the water and began eating their two kinds of chipped rice. So because simply there is no place, it's not like, you go to somewhere, some event, and there is no place, oh well, we'll go somewhere else. No. This event was so attractive that, okay, fine, I will go inside the water, not fully, like up to the waist, and I will be there and I will eat my chipped rice. So there were people doing that also. কেহ উপরে কেহ তলে কেহ গঙ্গা তীরে বিশ্বজন তিন জানি পরিবেশনা করে. Thus some sat on the platform, some at the base of the platform, some on the bank of the Ganges, and they were all supplied two pots, each by 20 men who distributed the food. So there were around 20 men who were distributing, and no one was left behind. Even those in the banks and even in the water, they all got two earthen pots. Now one with the condensed milk and chida, and the other with the yogurt and chida. হেন কালে আইল সথা রাঘব পণ্ডিত হাসিতে লাগিলা দেখি হন বিস্মিত. Now when Raghava Pandit came and saw at that time, began seeing the situation, he began to laugh in great surprise. So it was actually funny. So see this whole incident, if you look at it, it's funny basically, right from the time when Lord Nityananda Prabhu, dragged Raghunath Das Goswami, said, why are you like a thief? Why are you so far away? Come close, and then gave him a punishment, such a sweet punishment of, because he was a rich person, Raghunath Das Goswami, very rich basically, right? So for him there was no problem. So he enjoyed doing this service, this punishment you can call, right? And the site itself is funny that, not that just the platform, the people are in the platform, there are people in the bank of the Ganges, and there are people who are, inside the water of the Ganges. Inside means up till the waist, of course, not fully submerged, right? And they were all enjoying the pastime. So it was funny. So he started laughing basically in great surprise, Raghava Pandit. নিঃশব্দি নানা মতো প্রসাদ আনিল প্রভুর আগে দিয়া ভক্তগণে বাঁটি দিল. He brought many kinds of food cooked in ghee and offered to the Lord. This prasadam he first placed before Lord Nityananda and distributed among the devotees. Just like, remember that large earthen pots, they prepared the doi chide and dudh chide. So first they showed it to Nityananda Prabhu for his satisfaction, and then Nityananda Prabhu said everything is fine, and then they started distributing. Same thing. Raghava Pandit Pandit also doing the same thing. Then first thing, whatever he also got from his home, deity worship and all, he came, got some prasadam, and he put it before Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and then distributed among the devotees. প্রভুরে কহে তোমা লাগি ভোগ লাগাইল তুমি ইহা উৎসব করো ঘরে প্রসাদ রহিল. So Nityananda Prabhu had a regular schedule where he will do his congregational chanting and everything. He will gather people and do all that, and then he will go to Raga Pandit's house, and that's where he will honor, right, prasadam. Now here Nityananda Prabhu is now enjoying this prasadam, the one which Raghunath Das Goswami arranged, right? So Raghav Pandit is saying, okay, that other prasad is podailo, means it will remain there. What will happen basically with that prasad, which is in my home? Raghav Pandit said to Lord Nityananda, for you, sir, I have already offered food to the deity, but you are engaged in festival here, and so the food is lying there untouched. প্রভু কহে এই দ্রব্য দিনে করিয়া ভজন রাত্রে তোমারও ঘরে প্রসাদ করিম ভক্ষণ. He says, no worries, let me enjoy with all these devotees this dahi chida, and then at night I will go and have the prasad at your home. গোপ জাতি আমি বহু গোপ গণ সঙ্গে আমি সুখ পাই এই পুলিন ভোজন রঙ্গে. I belong to a community of cowherd boys, and therefore I generally have many cowherd associates with me. I am happy when we eat together in a picnic like this by the sandy bank of the river. So he's remembering his pastimes in his previous life, that is as Balaram, right? With Lord Krishna, they would have picnic, right? They would, with the cowherd boys will get all their preparations, their mothers will prepare for them, and then they will come. All kinds of activities. If you go and read Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava, you will know, they will even, the lunch boxes, they will play games, like, they will throw the lunch boxes of one of their friend, Gopa friend, and that Gopa friend will try to catch, and he will then later be able to get his lunch box and then get moros, and then, Krishna and Balaram will then hand it over to him. So all those games they used to play. So he got reminded of those things, and he is enjoying this Dahi Chida festival happening at the bank. রাঘবে বসন দুই কুণ্ডি দেও লাইল রাঘব দুই বিধা চিড়া তাতে ভিজাইল. Lord Nityananda made Raghav Pandit sit down also, had 2 pots delivered to him also, and there were 2 kinds of chipped rice soaked in them. So not only told Raghav Pandit that I will eat in the night, but he said, you eat here now, that you also enjoy, you also join us. সকল লোকেরা চিড়া পূর্ণ যাবে হইল ধ্যানে তবে প্রভু মহাপ্রভুর আনিল. Now of course Balaram is there with his associates, right? Now it is incomplete without Krishna. So what did Balaram Balaram is, when I am referring here, I am referring to Nityananda Prabhu. So he got, well, okay, let us get Mahaprabhu also. When chipped rice had been served to everyone, Lord Nityananda Prabhu in meditation brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now it is complete, the festival is complete now. Mahaprabhu আইলো দেখে নিতাই উঠিল তারে লানা সবারো চিড় দেখিতে লাগিল. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, Lord Nityananda Prabhu stood up. They then saw how the others were enjoying the chipped rice with yogurt and condensed milk. So both Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, then they stood up, right? Now not everyone was able to decipher what's happening, why Nityananda Prabhu stood up, but there were few who could, right, understand and see. So they were seeing that everyone, all the devotees were enjoying the yogurt and condensed milk with chipped rice. সকল কুণ্ডির হলার চিড়ার একো একো গ্রাস মহাপ্রভুর মুখে দেন পরি পরিহাস. From each and every pot, Lord Nityananda Prabhu took 1 morsel of chipped rice and pushed it into the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a joke. So like Balaram Krishna, they used to play, right? So there is the same mood of cowherd boys. So here, Nityananda Prabhu, just like, Balaram used to do with Krishna, Krishna used to do with other friends and all. So he would push the chipped rice from every pot, like those large 7 pots, right, where initially it was prepared for distribution. হাসি মহাপ্রভু আরো একো গ্রাস হলন তারো মুখে দিয়া খাওয়ায় হাসিয়া হাসিয়া. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also smiling, took a morsel of food, pushed it into the mouth of Nityananda, and laughed as he made Lord Nityananda eat it. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also did the same thing. He picked one, from each pot he picked a morsel of food and put it into Nityananda Prabhu's mouth. Okay. And he also laughed. Just like the cowherd boys, with the cowherd boys Lord Krishna and Balaram used to play. So they were, enacting basically. They were in that mood. এই মতো নিতাই বলে সকল মণ্ডলে দণ্ডনা রঙ্গ দেখে বৈষ্ণব সকলে. In this way, Lord Nityananda was walking through all groups of eaters, and all the Vaishnavas standing there were seeing the fun. কি করিয়া বেড়ায় ইহা কেহ নাহি জানে, মহাপ্রভুর দর্শন পায় কোন ভাগ্যবানে. So that's what I was telling. Nityananda Prabhu is suddenly doing all these things. Not everyone could understand why he suddenly got up, who is he talking to, and why is he distributing personally. No one, but there were few who could understand. No one could understand what Nityananda Prabhu was doing as he walked about. Some, however, were very fortunate, could see that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also present. তবে হাসি নিত্যানন্দ বসিল আসনে, চারি কুণ্ড আরায় চিড়া রখিল দাহিনে. Then Nityananda Prabhu smiled and sat down. On his right side he kept 4 pots of chipped rice that had not been made from boiled paddy. So this is for whom? This is for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because by that time he was a sannyasi, right? আসন দিয়া মহাপ্রভুরে তাহানো বসালিল, দুই ভাই তবে চিড়া খাইতে লাগিল. So in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda's pastimes, they were not really brothers. So this Dui Bhai, this is in that mood. This Dui Bhai has been talked about in that mood of Balaram and Krishna, where they were brothers basically. Lord Nityananda offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a place and had him sit down. Then together the two brothers began eating chipped rice. Right? And of course in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, the Gaur Lila also, Nitai Gaur Lila also, a lot of Vaishnavas considered them, they are so close, they considered them like inseparable, they considered them brothers. So in that sense also they might have been called Dui Bhai here. দেখি নিত্যানন্দ প্রভু আনন্দিত হইল, কত কত ভাব বেশে প্রকাশ করিল. Seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating with him, Lord Nityananda Prabhu became very happy and exhibited varieties of ecstatic love. আজ্ঞ দিলা হরি বলি করাহ ভজন, হরি হরি ধ্বনি উঠি ভরিল ভুবন. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu ordered them, all of you eat, chanting the holy name of Hari. Just don't eat, but Hari Hari, like Hari bol, like that. Immediately the holy names of Hari Hari resounded, filling the entire universe. হরি হরি বলি বৈষ্ণব করায় ভজন, পুলিন ভজন সবার হইল স্মরণ. When all the Vaishnavas were chanting the holy names Hari Hari and eating, they remembered how Krishna and Balaram ate with their companions, the cowherd boys, on the bank of Yamuna. So now all the Vaishnavas, although they cannot see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but they were reminded because they knew. Basically, Nityananda Prabhu was Balaram's incarnation, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Krishna's incarnation, right? So when they started, so that is the effect of the chanting the holy name. When they started chanting that holy name Hari Hari, then they got the mercy of remembering how Krishna and Balaram ate with their companions, the cowherd boys, on the bank of the Yamuna. So this is what we are talking about in Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, that when we are immersed in Krishna consciousness by either chanting, then automatically remembering the pastimes also happens. So this is a vivid example of that How? By saying Hari Hari upon the order of, for all the Bengal at that time, spiritual master was Nityananda Prabhu. So at his order, when everyone ordered Hari Hari, then they immediately remembered, oh, this is, we remember that Krishna and Balaram used to, eat with their companions on the bank of Yamuna. This is exactly like that. That's the kind of feeling basically they were getting. নিত্যানন্দ মহাপ্রভু কৃপালো উদারো রঘুনাথেরও ভাগ্যেতে কইল অঙ্গীকার. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu are extremely merciful and liberal. It was Raghunath Dasa's good fortune that they accepted all these dealings. It was great fortune that Nityananda Prabhu, because he knew the mind of Raghunath. Although Raghunath Das explicitly did not say anything, he knew his mind. He wanted the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so therefore, he brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, looking at the pastimes, looking at the arrangement, he was very happy. He went into ecstasy. And so Raghunath Das was, as a result, very merciful, got his mercy, basically. So, and that will be told in some future verses. And it was his good fortune that they accepted all these dealings. So this is very important, that whenever we offer to Lord Krishna, you see Radha Krishna or Sri Krishna Balaram, it is not just what we are offering, but then they also have to accept. And that happens only when we do things with devotion and faith. Then they accept, because that is what they are looking at. They are looking at how devoted, how faithful you are, and then they accept. And then we are fortunate. Similarly here Raghunath is a Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is saying in this Chaitanya Charitamrita here that Raghunath Das Goswami is very fortunate they accepted his dealings, his offerings. Nityananda Prabhu Kripa Janibe Kono Jano Mahaprabhu Ani Koraya Pulino Bhojana. Who can understand the influence of mercy of Lord Nityananda Prabhu? He is so powerful that he induced Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come eat chipped rice on the bank of the Ganges. Sri Rama Dasadi Gopo Premo Vishto Hoilo Ganga Tire Jamuna Pulino Gyano Koilo. All the confidential devotees who were cowherd boys headed by Sri Ramdas were absorbed in ecstatic love. So there were some devotees, there was Sri Ramdas, we remember? They were all on the platform we read in the beginning. So they were all actually confidential devotees. They were all cowherd boys. So they got absorbed in ecstatic love when they saw this pastime. They thought at that time the bank of Ganges to be the bank of Yamuna. Right? So in ecstasy these kind of things happen. Not only with the devotees but even sometimes with the Lord. Right? Like remember when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was trying to go to Vrindavan, and then Balaram advised that to tell all the people that this is asking them to this, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, tell him that this is Jamuna, so you are in Vrindavan, and then kind of diverted him to Advaita Prabhu's house. That's another very beautiful pastime. So Nityananda Prabhu always has these many humorous and funny pastimes in Chaitanya Lila. Mahotsava Suni Pasari Nano Gramo Hoite Ciḍā-dadhi Sandeso Kala Anilo Bechite. When the shopkeepers of many other villages heard about the festival, they arrived there to sell chipped rice, yogurt and sweetmeats and bananas. So see, devotional service is complete. Not only spiritually but materially also. So the shopkeepers thought it's a great opportunity. Let us go. And earlier Raghunath Das Goswami was collecting, and now the shopkeepers themselves are coming. Joto drobbo lana oise sobo mullo kori loy taro drobbo mullo diya tanaro khawai. As they came bringing all kinds of food, Raghunath Das purchased it all. He gave them the price for their goods and later fed them the very same food. So it's not just Raghunath Das Goswami treating them as businessmen or shopkeepers. He even fed them, just like, okay, you came, so you also have this mercy. Okay? Fed them the very same food. The shopkeepers also got the prasad. Kautuko dekhite ailo joto joto jano sei Ciḍā-dadhi kolo Kala Korilo Bhakshana. Anyone who came to see how these funny things were going on was also fed chipped rice, yogurt, and bananas. So no one was left behind, no passerby. Anyone who came to see what's going on, everyone got prasad, everyone got mercy. So they got, say, just by their curiosity. If we direct our curiosity in the good direction, then also we get mercy of Mahaprabhu. So that is what is being mentioned in this particular verse. So some people were just curious, oh, what's funny thing going on, right? So they also got prasad. ভোজন করি নিত্যানন্দ আচমন কইল চারি কুণ্ডির অবশেষ রঘুনাথে দিল. After Lord Nityananda Prabhu finished eating, he washed his hands and mouth and gave Raghunath Das the food remaining in for the 4 pots. আরো তিন কুণ্ডিকায় অবশেষ ছিল গ্রাসে গ্রাসে করি বিপ্র সব ভক্তে দিল. There was food remaining in the 3 other big pots of Lord Nityananda, and a Brahmana distributed it all to all devotees, giving a morsel to each. So out of the 7, there were 3 other big pots also. So, oh no, these are other big pots, means I think these are the pots got by maybe Raghava Pandit, or I'm not getting the connection. What are these other big pots? But anyway, they were there, and a Brahmana distributed them also again to give a morsel to each devotee, whoever came there. পুষ্পমালা বিপ্র আনি প্রভু গলে দিল চন্দন আনিয়া প্রভুর সর্বাঙ্গে লেপিল. Then a Brahmana brought a flower garland, placed the garland on Nityananda Prabhu's neck, and smeared sandalwood pulp all over his body. সেবক তাম্বুল লন করে সমর্পণ হাসিয়া হাসিয়া প্রভু করায় চর্বণ. When a servant brought betel nuts and offered them to Lord Nityananda, the Lord smiled and chewed them. Lord smiled and chewed them. So betel nuts is something we don't, because that's for enjoyment. We don't, but you can always offer them to the Lord. Normally devotees don't. So are in the servant mood, they don't honor betel nuts, because we are to be enjoyed, not we are the enjoyers. So that is why. মালা চন্দন তাম্বুল শেষ যে আছিল শ্রীহস্তে প্রভু তাহা সবাকারে বাঁটি দিল. With his own hands, Lord Nityananda Prabhu distributed to all devotees whatever flower garland, sandalwood pulp, and betel nuts remained. So that is another thing. If the Lord himself or a senior himself is distributing this, then we accept that as a prasad. But out of our own enjoyment, we don't do that. আনন্দিত রঘুনাথ প্রভুর শেষে পানা আপনর গণ সহ খাইল বাটিয়া. After receiving the remnants of food left by Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Raghunath Das, who was greatly happy, ate some and distributed the rest among his own associates. Right? So it is distribution. It's not just honoring yourself, but it's also distribution. So his own associates he distributed. But the key thing is he honored the prasadam at the end. He was just waiting. He was just organizing. That is the mood of service. এই তা কহিলু নিত্যানন্দ নিত্যানন্দের বিহার চিড়াদহি মহোৎসব নামে খ্যাতি যার. So this is the Ciḍā-dadhi Mahotsav. That is the name by which this is famous. Okay, Ciḍā-dadhi. So that is the Mahotsav. That is the thing we are celebrating in ISKCON. Thus I have described the pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu in relation to the celebrated festival of chipped rice and yogurt. So this is where the Ciḍā-dadhi-mahotsava kind of ends. It extends further. Raghunath Das Goswami goes to Raghava Pandit's house and he does some additional things. I will quickly check if there are any comments, any questions, anyone. If not, and we have time till 8:30, I will continue reading, because it's a very wonderful chapter. So let me just go ahead and check. Don't see any comments here. Right. In Zoom also I don't see anything. Okay, so we'll continue reading. এই তা কহিলু নিত্যানন্দ বিহার চিড়াদহি-মহোৎসব নামে খ্যাতি যার. Thus I have described the pastimes of Lord Nityananda Prabhu in relation to the celebrated festival of chipped rice and yoga. প্রভু বিশ্রাম কইল যদি দিন শেষ হইল রাঘবের মন্দিরে তবে কীর্তন আরম্ভিল. So this is the wonderful thing about that Gaur Lila is that the festival never ends. So there is a festival of Ciḍā-dadhi, and then he took little bit of rest, Nityananda Prabhu, and then again go to Raghuver Mandira, that's where, and then again he went there and started doing kirtan. Nityananda Prabhu rested for the day, and when the day ended, he went to the temple of Raghav Pandit and began congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord. ভক্ত সব নাচানো নিত্যানন্দ রায় শেষ নৃত্য করে প্রেমে জগত ভাষায়. Lord Nityananda Prabhu first influenced all the devotees to dance, and finally he himself began dancing and thus inundating the entire world in ecstatic love. মহাপ্রভু তার নৃত্য করেন দর্শন সবে নিত্যানন্দ দেখে না দেখে অন্য জন. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also there. So Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whom Nityananda Prabhu called, right? Called means through his mind basically, and he was there personally. Not everyone saw this. Nityananda Prabhu could see this, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still there, but others could not, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also very fond of seeing Nityananda Prabhu dance. And you have to understand, Lord Nityananda Prabhu is actually Balaram himself, right? So Nityananda Prabhu could see this. Sorry for my mentioning before. I think Nityananda Prabhu I said Sadasiv and Mahavishnu. That's not correct. I will correct myself. That is Advaita Acharya. Sorry about that. But Nityananda Prabhu is incarnation of Balaram. Nityananda Prabhu could see this, that Mahaprabhu is still there, but others could not. নিত্যানন্দের নৃত্য যেন তাহার নর্তনে উপমা দিবার নাহি এই তিন ভুবনে. The dancing of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, like the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, cannot be compared to anything within these three worlds. So it was a very ecstatic dancing. নৃত্যের মধুরীকে বর্ণিবরে পারে মহাপ্রভু ঐশ্বর্যে নৃত্য দেখিবারে. No one can properly describe the sweetness of Lord Nityananda's dancing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally comes to see it. নৃত্য করি প্রভু যাবে বিশ্রাম করিল ভোজনের লাগি পণ্ডিত নিবেদন কইল. After dancing and after Lord Nityananda had rested, Raghav Pandit submitted his request that the Lord take supper. ভোজনে বসিল প্রভু নিজ গণলন মহাপ্রভুর আসন দাহিনে পাতিয়া. Lord Nityananda Prabhu sat down for supper with his personal associates and made a sitting place on his right side for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now this is, imagine you are in that situation, this will be very surprising, because you can't see who is there, but then there is someone there, and Lord Nityananda Prabhu is making a place, but no one is sitting there, right? But Nityananda Prabhu can see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there. মহাপ্রভু আসিসে আসনে বসিল দেখি রাঘবেরা মনে আনন্দ বাড়িল. Now when I say no one, I should qualify that in general people did not show, but there were some very fortunate ones like Raghav Pandit. He could see that Mahaprabhu is there sitting. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there and sat down at his place. Seeing this, Raghava Pandit felt increasing happiness. দুই ভাই আগে প্রসাদ আনিও ধরিল, সকল বৈষ্ণব পিছে পরিবেশন কইল. Raghav Pandit brought the prasadam before the two brothers and thereafter distributed prasadam to all the other Vaishnavas. নানা প্রকার পিঠ পায়স দিব্য শল্যন্ন অমৃত নিন্দয়ে আছে বিবিধ ব্যঞ্জন. There were varieties of cakes, sweet rice, fine cooked rice that surpassed the taste of nectar. There were also varieties of vegetables. রাঘব ঠাকুরের প্রসাদ অমৃতের সার মহাপ্রভু যাহা খাইতে ঐসে বড় বড়. This is baro baro. Actually, baro baro. Again. The food prepared and offered to the deity by Raghava Pandita was like the essence of nectar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came there again and again to eat such prasadam. So it was not just once. Like every time this kind of ecstatic dancing and then prasadam Nityananda Prabhu is taking, Mahaprabhu comes there again and again to eat such prasadam. পাক করি রাঘব যবে ভোগ লাগায় মহাপ্রভু লাগি ভোগ পৃথক বাড়ায়. When Raghava Pandit offered the food to the deity after cooking, he would make a separate offering for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. প্রতিদিন মহাপ্রভু করেন ভোজন মধ্যে মধ্যে প্রভু তারে দেন দর্শন. Every day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would eat at the house of Raghava Pandit, and sometimes he would give Raghava Pandit the opportunity to see him. So not every time Raghava Pandit will not be able to see. So it is a way of, it's like the pastime between Narad Muni and Lord, that when Narad Muni was after coming in contact with those Mahabhagavatas, when he understood what they said, how to meditate and all, he did that and he heard Lord's voice, but then he could not see and he was troubled by that. And the Lord said that you are not ready yet to see me, right? So this is to increase the, and that's where in purport Srila Prabhupada writes that this is to increase the attachment to the Lord. Lord does that sometimes, and that is what similar kind of thing here. He would not show himself every time to Raghava Pandit, but sometimes he would show him. দুই ভাইরে রাঘব আনি পরিবেশে যত্ন করি খাওয়ায় না রহে অবশেষে. Raghava Pandit would bring and distribute prasadam to the two brothers, feeding them with great attention. They ate everything and therefore there were no remnants left. Yeah. কত উপহার আনে হেন নাই জানি রাঘবের ঘরে রাঁধে রাধা ঠাকুরানী. He brought so many presentations that no one could know them perfectly. So he was expert. Indeed, it was a fact that Supreme Mother Radharani personally cooked in the house of Raghava Pandit, because Nityananda Prabhu went and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also is to come visible to only few fortunate souls. So it seemed that Radharani herself, the Supreme Mother Radharani herself, was cooking in Raghava Pandit's house because there were so many preparations. দুর্বাসারো থানি তেন পানাচেন বড় অমৃত হইতে পাক তারো অধিক মধুর. Srimati Radharani received from Durvasa Muni the benediction that whatever she cooked would be sweeter than nectar. This is the special feature of her cooking. She got the benediction. So we have to understand Srimati Radharani is actually Adi Shakti, right? She doesn't need benediction. But just like the Lord Krishna, Radharani also, Lord Ram, Lord Krishna, Radharani, Lakshmi, whenever they come to this world, through their activities they show how to please the exalted rishis, munis, Vaishnavas, Brahmanas and get their benedictions. They show as an example. So this is what we should interpret this pastime like that, receiving Durvasa Muni's benediction. সুগন্ধি সুন্দর প্রসাদ মাধুরের সার দুই ভাই তাহা খান সন্তোষ অপার aromatic and pleasing to see. The food was the essence of all sweetness. Thus the two brothers, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, ate it with great satisfaction. ভোজনে বসিত রঘুনাথে কহে সর্বজন পণ্ডিত কহে ইহ পাছে করিবে ভজন ভোজন. All the devotees present requested Raghunath Das to sit down and take prasadam, but Raghav Pandit told them he will take prasadam later. ভক্তগণ আকণ্ঠ ভরিয়া করিল ভোজন হরিধ্বনি করি উঠি কইল আচমন. All the devotees took prasadam, filling themselves to the brim. Thereafter, chanting the holy name of Hari, they stood up and washed their hands and mouths. ভোজন করি দুই ভাই কইল আচমন রাঘব আনি পড়াইল মাল্যচন্দন. After eating, the two brothers washed their hands and mouths. Then Raghava Pandit brought flower garlands and sandalwood pulp and decorated them. বিড়া খাওয়াইল কইল চরণ বন্দন ভক্তগণে দিল বিড়া মাল্যচন্দন. So Raghava Pandit offered them betel nuts. Bida means betel nuts. Okay, and worshipped their lotus feet. He also distributed betel nuts, flower garlands, sandalwood pulp to the devotees. রাঘবেরও কৃপা রঘুনাথেরও উপরে দুই ভাইয়েরও অবশিষ্ট পাত্র দিল তারে. So finally he gets mercy. Finally Raghunath gets mercy. How he gets mercy? He gets mercy in terms of the remnants of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghav Pandit, being very merciful to Raghunath Das, offered him the dishes with the remnants of food left by two brothers. কহিল চৈতন্য গোসাই করিয়াছেন ভোজন তারও শেষ পাইলে তোমারও খণ্ডিল বন্ধন. So what happens? He said, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has eaten this food. If you take his remnants, you will be released from the bondage of your family. So one devotee is giving blessing to another devotee. So it has to happen. ভক্ত চিত্তে ভক্ত গৃহে সদা অবস্থান কবু গুপ্ত কবু ব্যক্ত স্বতন্ত্র ভগবান. The Supreme Personality of Godhead always resides either in the heart or in the home of a devotee. This fact is sometimes hidden and sometimes manifest, for the Supreme Personality of Godhead is fully independent. Right? So he is present everywhere. And sometimes in the home of a devotee, by saying the example he gave just before, right? Like Raghav Pandit's house, sometimes you can see that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, and sometimes he can't. That doesn't mean he is not there, he is still there in the heart of Raghav Pandit. But he is fully independent. That is another aspect. Swarat, fully independent. He can do whatever he likes. But we must still have faith in the Lord. সর্বত্র ব্যাপক প্রভুর সদা সর্বত্র বস ইহাতে সন্ন্যাস যারা ইহাতে সংশয় যারা সেই যায় নাশ. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all pervasive and therefore he resides everywhere. Anyone who doubts this will be annihilated. So this is something very similar to what we read in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Right? He says, Lord Krishna says, Jagad Avyakta Murtina, he is pervading everywhere. We should never doubt that. Okay? So anyone who doubts this will be annihilated, and Lord Krishna says there, basically, anyone who doubts that I am that Supreme Person, will none of his any fruitive activity does, any gyan arjan he is trying to do, acquire gyan, he will not get any benefits out of that. He will never get liberation. That is what is repeated here. প্রাতে নিত্যানন্দ প্রভু গঙ্গা স্নানে করিয়া সেই বৃক্ষ মূলে বসিল নিজগণ লন. In the morning, after taking his bath in the Ganges, Nityananda Prabhu sat down with his associates beneath the same tree under which he had previously sat. রঘুনাথ আসি কইলা চরণ বন্দন রাঘব পণ্ডিত দ্বার কইল নিবেদন. Raghunath Das went there and worshipped Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. Through Raghav Pandit, he submitted his desire. So although he worshipped, but his desire he did not submit directly. He submitted through Raghav Pandit. So Dasana Dasa principle. অধম পামর মুই হীন জীব ধাম মোর ইচ্ছা হয় পাও চৈতন্য চরণ. And again he is not giving it directly to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is putting this through Raghav Pandit to Nityananda Prabhu, which will go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? What he is saying? I am the lowest of men, the most sinful, fallen and condemned. Nevertheless, I desire to attend the center at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. বামন হয় যেন চাঁদ ছাড়ো দরিবারে ছায় অনেক যত্ন কইনু তাতে কবু সিদ্ধ নয়. Like a dwarf who wants to catch the moon, I have tried my best many times, but I have never been successful. He is telling, so this is an act of surrender that I have tried, but I was not successful. So please help me. যত বড় পালাই আমি গৃহাদি ছাড়িয়া পিতা মাতা দুই মোরে রাখায় বাঁধিয়া. Every time I tried to go away and give up my home relationships, my father and mother unfortunately kept me bound. He was not able to leave his family ties. তোমারও কৃপা বিনা কহে চৈতন্য নায় পায় তুমি কৃপা কইলে তারে অধমেহ পায়. No one can attain the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without your mercy. But if you are merciful, even the lowest of men can attain shelter at his lotus feet. This is very important. And this is in Chaitanya Bhagavat also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying this many times, basically, that without Nityananda Prabhu's mercy, you cannot attain it. So this is the same thing is being repeated by Raghunath Das Goswami. অযোগ্য মুই নিবেদন করিতে করি ভয় মোরে চৈতন্য দেহ গোসাই অনসদায়. Although I am unfit and greatly afraid to submit this plea, I nevertheless request you, sir, to be especially merciful toward me by granting me shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was, and this is basically like the Dainya stage, that you consider yourself very heen, like very lowly, that you are not qualified. Although the person is really, Raghunath Das Goswami was really qualified, but he felt himself unfit, and in that mood he is offering this request to Nityananda Prabhu. So please get me the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. মোরো মাথায় পড়াধারী করাহ প্রসাদ নির্বিঘ্নে চৈতন্য পাও কর আশীর্বাদ. Placing your feet on my head, give me the benediction that I may achieve the shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without difficulty. I pray for this benediction. So we should be able to go at any length to get the mercy. That is what he is saying. That he was a millionaire, billionaire, you can say trillionaire, God knows how much wealth he had. But still, he said that put your feet on my head, give me that mercy so that I can achieve the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have to go to any length. Right? The lolium, that strong greed we should have to get the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Suni hasi kahe Prabhu sab bhakta gane iharo vishaya sukha indra sukha sama. After hearing this appeal by Raghunath Das, Lord Nityananda Prabhu smiled and told all the devotees, Raghunath Dasa's standard of material happiness is equal to that of Indra, the king of heaven. So imagine the comparison, right? He was very wealthy, from a very wealthy family. চৈতন্য কৃপাতে সেহ নাই ভয় মনে সব আশীর্বাদ কর পাউক চৈতন্য চরণে. So now Raghunath Das Goswami, Nityananda Prabhu is requesting everyone, because of the mercy bestowed upon him by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Raghunath Das, although situated in such material happiness, does not like it at all. Therefore, let every one of you be merciful toward him and give him the benediction that he may very soon attain shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, Nityananda Prabhu himself had capacity to give that mercy, but through this he is showing an example that not only one person, but we should try to get benedictions from as many Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis as possible. Then we can get, attain the shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. কৃষ্ণ পদ পদ্মগন্ধ যেই জন পায় ব্রহ্মলোক আদি সুখ তারে নাহি ভয়. One who experiences the fragrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna does not value even the standard of happiness available in Brahmaloka, the topmost planet, and what to speak of heavenly happiness. यो दुष्टजन दारशूतान् सुहृद्राज्यं हृदि स्पृशा जहौ यो वैव मालवत् उत्तम श्लोका लालसा. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is offered sublime poetic prayers by those trying to attain his favor. Thus he is known as Uttama Sloka. Being very eager to gain the association of Lord Krishna, King Bharat, although in the prime of youth, gave up his very attractive wife, affectionate children, most beloved friends, and opulent kingdom, exactly as one gives up stool after excreting it. So they are giving an example from Bhagavatam that how Bharat Maharaj left everything. Similarly, Raghunath Das Goswami is ready to leave everything to get this highest benediction. So it's 2 minutes left. I'll be closing this class today because I don't know what the logistics will be. We have another program in the same Zoom. Should I leave the Zoom and restart the Zoom? If any devotees who have joined here can educate me there, I don't know. You can always unmute and say what's the plan. We'll continue this Zoom or we will come out of this Zoom and Malini Mataji is there. She can tell us. We'll restart the Zoom or how we want to do. Of sharing.
Gurudev, thank you very much for your very nice recitation of the whole thing. And I understand Bengali also, so I understand both the English and Bengali part.
Okay, thank you. Who is this speaking, Prabhu?
This is Joydev.
Okay, Joydev. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much for your time. And where can I get the Gita in Bengali? Is it possible to get here?
Yes, you can. You are in sorry, you are in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, in the Bay Area.
So you
Gopatina.
should come to our 1965 Latham Street,
Mm-hmm.
Mountain View. That is where our temple is. You can come there in one of the Sundays between 3:30 like that, and we
Mm-hmm.
should be having a Bengali version of Bhagavad Gita in our temple.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
please come down.
Okay. Thank you.
I see Malini Mataji. I don't know. No one is saying anything, so I'm not sure whether we should continue this class or. I think most probably I should stop this class and restart the Zoom. I think because this part, that program that will happen after this, we don't want to. We don't want to
Sure.
record that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu. So I will stop this class here, and then I think we'll start the Zoom again. Okay. Whoever wants to join for the next program.
Thank you very much, Gurudev.
I'm not Gurudev, just you can call me Prabhu.
Oh, thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Shraddha Mataji.
Dada Prabhu, Jai Srila Prabhupada, good to see you. And I missed your nectar. Yeah, next year.
Mataji, Shraddha Mataji, what is the plan? Should I stop this recording?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Pranam Prabhu, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
There you go. Malini's here.
Yes, is the
Yeah.
Malini
Prabhu,
Mataji.
yes. If we can stop the program and we will restart that,
Okay,
maybe
I'll
so
do
that the Zoom, YouTube, everything can stop, right, Prabhu?
Yes.
So maybe we can end it and then we can start.
Right. Should we all leave then, right, Mataji? Then leave
Yes.
and come back? Okay.
I think you should end the Zoom call, then we can restart it. Krishangi will restart it again.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Hari Bol.
Danda Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, devotees, for joining this Wednesday class. We'll join again online only class next Wednesday. Hari Bol. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
And those who have joined the Zoom for Gandharvika Mataji's final darshan, please join back because this call will end now and we will restart again. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Malini.